Hey, ¿cómo están todos? What's going down, friends? How are you all doing today? Bueno, el día de hoy vamos a hablar de algunas estrategias que no he mencionado antes. Bueno, el tema de hoy es How do we learn a language? The fastest way to mastering the language of your dreams. So it all starts with a dream, guys. If you want to learn a language, today we're going to talk about some specific strategies that, like I said, I haven't really mentioned before, but that I consider to be critical for your progress and eventually mastery over this language. And I use this phrase right here, the fastest way to mastering the language of your dreams. Dreams is something that you're going to have in order to get to the mastery of the language that you're seeking out to achieve. Because when we're dreaming, we are getting our emotions involved. And that's how we do about anything we set our minds to do. Because when we, as I said before, get our emotions in the game, then everything becomes more meaningful. And that's what you want. You want to find a reason why. Why are you learning this language? Why do you want it in the first place? What's in it for you if you achieve it? What's the goal? So something really specific that you get reminded to every time. And so even when perhaps you're not feeling very engaged or motivated, just because you think of the reason, you're like, oh, that's my why. That's my North Star. I better get to study. I better get to read the book or listen to the song that that I enjoy, or just you get to start doing rather than just talking about how much you love this language and how motivated you are. Where I want you to get to is to the action taking. But anyways, not the way I will read mass. I don't want to bore you anymore. Let's get to it. So the fastest way to mastering the language of your dreams. It starts with a dream. It starts with a reason. It starts with why. Why do you want it? Okay, como sabemos, siempre nos han dado estrategias. We've seen it all before. And here's some strategies, right? Everybody tells you, okay, yes, have goals. How do you learn a language? You focus on simple, specific words for you. Doesn't have to be anything hard at the beginning, just simple words. Start easy and then gradually you improve. Use flashcards, use pictures, and the pictures you associate the pictures with the word. You see the picture and you also see the word, how it's spelled and everything. This is important. Plan your study. You plan your study. Okay, when do you have more time to dedicate to this language? You have 24 hours a day. Sometime you sleep. There's some hours that you use to go to school or work, but then find some specific time that you will dedicate to the language that you're choosing to study. So plan your study. What time during the day does it work best for you? Pretend situations in your mind. Picture situations in your mind that you daily have to experience. Like everybody has experiences daily. So what are those experiences for you And now that you have them clear in your mind, you can be like, okay, so these are the experiences that I deal with on a regular basis. Now, how do I translate all these scenarios into my new language? So the situations that you're dealing with in your native language, translate them into the language that you're learning. And so see, automatically, okay, you're starting to create these phrases. Okay, how would I say, these expression that I always use in my native language into the new language? And so because you have access to the internet and because there is so much information everywhere, you can just Google it. You can find out how you say this one phrase that you always use, and you find out how to say it in the new language. So situations like that, simple strategies like that. So pretend situations. That's how I approach it. That's what I call it. Pretend situations. Change your environment. If you live in a small house, you have your room, right? How would you make your room more helpful, right? How would you make your environment, this room of yours, how would you decorate it so it helps you learn the language that you're studying? So maybe placing pictures on the walls with phrases that you like, like do better today, or inspirational quotes in your target language. There's so many. You just Google that. Inspirational quotes in Spanish, inspirational quotes in French, in English. And you'll have lots and lots of very, as I said, very encouraging phrases that you can write down and place around your room. And so these will be a strategy for you to change your environment in your target language. So pictures of places related to the language, specific phrases, words. Decorate your environment so that it helps you learn the language that you want. Comprehensional content. Don't rush the learning process. Find content, videos, music that are comprehensible to you, that are easy at the beginning. I started off watching Disney movies and cartoons. I love cartoons. Even as an adult, I still watch cartoons. Dragon Ball Z, I used to watch that in Portuguese, in French, in English. And so that was fun. I mean, it's still fun right now. And so that made the time that I use for learning more enjoyable. And so you could do the same, right? So as long as the content that you're looking at and using is comprehensionable, that's what you're aiming for, and that's what you want. So do that. Karaoke. If you like music, if you like, I guarantee you love some music in the language that you're trying to learn. So those songs that you enjoy listening to and that you even sing to sometimes, but you don't even know what it means, I challenge you to start translating all those lyrics, finding out what it means, and then singing along through karaoke. I mean, you can use YouTube to do that. In the past, we didn't have all these resources available, but now we do. So this is actually the best time for anyone to learn a language, to start a business, to do about anything. We're so lucky to live in this day and age where information is all over the place. Anyways, 9, fairy tales and books. What did it for me was fairy tales, stories, right? I love reading, but not just anything. I loved good stories. Like when I was younger, I would read a lot of um, fables. Aesop, I think, is one of the biggest authors out there. But yeah, fairy tales, books, whatever you're into, find some resources that you can read to, even blog posts online. Yeah, there's so much. The next one is immersion right away. Immerse yourself by finding other people that are learning the language that you are. Go to meetup events. Maybe go online or get on Facebook groups and find people that are also learning this language. Not just in in your country, but you can. I mean, it's worldwide right now, so you can go to places in or groups in India, in New Zealand, in Australia, in the US, in the UK, in Spain. I mean, the world is your oyster these days, and so you can do about anything. And the last one is travel. If you have the money, if you have the resources, don't wait to be fluent in this language that you're trying to learn. Just go. You can just book a trip for a week. And this is, of course, if, like I said, if you have the money for it, do it. But if not, that's okay. You can still do all the things that, I already mentioned. But see, anyways, here is this comment that this little it's a suggestion, right? Pick at least 3 language learning strategies that you would like to implement in your life. So if you don't do any of these already, I encourage you to at least pick 3 of them so you can start trying them out and see how that works out for you. Maybe you start seeing some results and you start increasing your confidence and feeling better about this language. So, elige 3 de estas estrategias. Pero esas son estrategias que, bueno, todos te dicen, right? Everybody talks about these strategies and they are pretty obvious and popular. However, I think there are a few more that I'm going to show you right now that not many people talk about, even though it's also common sense. It's sentido común. Creo que para aprender un idioma tenemos que hacer esto. Okay, and I base this idea on the fact that if you think about a language, any language, could be English, it could be Spanish, it could be French, any language, how do you make a language? How do you come up with a language? What does a language consist of? Right? If you dissect this language and you break it into 4 pieces in this situation, right? 4 components. There are 4 main components. And the first one is speaking, obviously, right here. The second one is reading. Next is listening and writing. So no matter where you look, wherever you go, for any language, you're always going to find that they are made of, or this language that you're trying to learn is made of speaking, reading, listening, or writing. And so that being said, if you practice these 4 components, 4 skills, 4 principles, if you will, it's inevitable that you get good in the language because you're basically doing exactly and focusing on each foundation, each component of a language, right? If you put every single piece together and you blend it into one, what do you get as a result? You get a language. And like I said, it could be any language. And so if you're speaking, you're practicing vocabulary, right? If you're reading, you're also getting some new words, saving up some new words in your memory. If you're listening, yeah, maybe you don't remember every single word that you hear, but if it's a word that you like, chances are that you will remember. So see, that also encourages you to expand your vocabulary and writing. So for every single skill component, we are also exercising and expanding our vocabulary, right? But I want you to focus on the 4 main skills. So if you want to learn a language, don't worry, it's all good. You can just start speaking, you can start reading, you can start listening, and you can start writing. And if you do these 4 things, 4 components, 4 skills every day, you will make progress. You will improve. Okay, so let's see how we can implement these 4 skills in our regular daily lives to acquire this language. So here's the study plan, right? And this is why you need a plan, right? But now we have a plan. We have, okay, so you're telling me that if I speak, if I read, if I write, and if I listen, I'm gonna be able to speak a language. That's right. You will, and you're going to. Okay, so, and I really like this quote. See, and that's what I was talking about when I say quotes. Place phrases, motivational quotes from people like Benjamin Franklin all over the place where you live so that you get reminded. And so he's saying here, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail, right? But now that's not a problem anymore because we are coming up with this plan. And so the plan, here's the plan. Can you sit down for 40 minutes a day and study all 4 components, right? Because remember, if you study the 4 components, speaking, reading, writing, and listening, you will start speaking this language and you will learn it. So can you do it for 40 minutes every single day? Do you have 40 minutes a day to do this? If you do, then keep on watching. So let's review the 4 components, starting with the first one, right? Reading. Okay, so how do we read in this language, right? And how much time do we need? We need 10 minutes, right? Remember, it's 40 minutes. So each component, we're going to dedicate to 10 minutes each. So reading 10 minutes. So how could you practice reading in your target language? Okay, reading. I need reading for 10 minutes. How do I practice it? Okay, find books that you like. In my case, it was fairy tales, cuentos de hadas, right? Para niños. If you like the news, maybe you like reading the newspaper, you can find newspapers online and read. Or maybe you can find articles online that you're into. If you're into martial arts, read about martial arts. If you're into cooking, read about cooking in the language. You see? So that's how you practice reading. Just find things that you like online through books, through stories, through newspapers, and do it for 10 minutes. Okay, 1 down, 3 to go. What's the next one? Listening. How do you listen? How do you practice listening every single day so that you get to master this language? And here's some ideas, right? You can listen to music that you like, rock, pop, hip hop, all these genres. Listen to music that you enjoy. You can watch TV, you can watch series, you can watch Netflix, YouTube, right? Podcasts, all these things help you develop and practice your listening skills. So do it for 10 minutes. 10 minutes for reading, as we said, 10 minutes for listening. So what's next? Speaking, another 10 minutes. How do you practice speaking though? How can I practice speaking this language for 10 minutes every single day? Here's some ideas. You can, of course, have other people to practice with you. You go to meetup.com, you find events in your town, in your city to go to and practice with other people. But if you're more of an introvert, perhaps, then just find a mirror and do it in front of of the mirror and talk to yourself. Talk about your day. Talk about what you read. Talk about the video that you watched and see what you like. I mean, not see what you like, but just talk about what you like. Describe what you like. Like if you were sharing it with a friend, right? And if you're even more courageous and brave, you can videotape yourself. Not to share it with everybody, but to observe yourself, to see how you pronounce all these words that you're learning. And so perhaps you might even start a YouTube channel talking about, the things that you're doing in order to learn this language. See? And so it becomes even more compelling. So, but again, these are just ideas, right? That's how you're going to practice speaking for 10 minutes every single day. And the last one, the last component, writing. And you can also, if you're even more intrepid, you can do 5 words, new words that you learned because of all these things that you've been doing today and practicing. So writing for 10 minutes, of course, like I said. How could you practice speaking in your target language? How could you do that? Again, more ideas. You can get yourself a diary. If you're not into writing much, maybe if you write about your day will give you more motivation. Because remember, everything that you're doing is focused around your life. So you're not going to be writing about just anything. It's going to be stuff about you, things that you experience every single day. You're going to be writing them down, maybe planning your day. And on top of that, if you're, as I said, if you're more dedicated to the plan that we're creating for you, you can add 5 words, 5 new words every single day. So can you imagine how much progress you're going to make if you stay consistently doing it every day, right? Because this is a compounding effect. The more you do it, the bigger it gets. So if you do every single day for a whole year, 12 months, 365 days, imagine how much progress you will make in a year. And as I said, it's my promise to you that you will be a whole different person, a much more capable language learner, language speaker, foreign language speaker, I should say. So, but again, it seems easy, but it requires a lot of time and dedication and commitment, right? So ask yourself, do I have 40 minutes a day for the next 365 days of the year? Can I do this every single day for 40 minutes? Can I speak? Can I read? Can I write? Can I listen? And then if you can answer to that, if you can be true to yourself and really commit, as I said, then congratulations. You are on your way to becoming an amazing language learner, language speaker, foreign language speaker, and sky is the limit for you and for the people that will eventually learn from you, because it's not just about acquiring the knowledge. Eventually you will have to share it with others, and that's my bonus tip for you. Share the information, the new words, the new vocabulary. Share these ideas, share this video with other people. The more you share, the more you get for yourself, the more you learn, the better you become. Okay, hopefully this was helpful. If you have any suggestions for videos like this, if you want more of this type of content, let me know in the comments, and I will see you next time. Adios, amigos. Ciao.